Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the opera. I hear that we have a rather rowdy crowd tonight, and that is entirely appropriate. I demand that everyone make the sound. Each person has to make enough noise for 4 people, so I think this crowd can accomplish this. Tonight on the menu we have Die Entführung aus dem Serail, which is of course German for racist terrorist rape fantasy. This is a famous opera from Mozart, who was a composer. And this is a piece about which the Emperor of Austria famously perhaps said, it's great, but there are too many notes. And you will find that there are in fact a lot of notes. We might miss some of the notes. If you know some of the notes that are missing, feel free to help out. Just join right in if you know where the notes go, or if you don't know where the notes go, just sing whatever other notes you feel like singing. It's all okay at the opera. This is Virgin Week, and we've had a really tough week here at the opera. We had an avalanche, we had a few beheadings last night, we had a murderous, virginal, insane person a few days ago. But tonight, nobody is scheduled to die, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe only the soprano, but we can get to that later. She'll at least make the first 2 acts. Now, you might be asking yourself, where is the Virgin in this opera? Well, let me tell you. The Virgin is the Virgin who is... actually, that's not the Virgin I was talking about, but that is in fact our intendant, Professor Dr. Helge Hofstede. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. Dr. Helge Hofstede, could you maybe tell us about the Virgin in this particular opera, this wonderful opera by Mozart, that is very difficult to sing and is quite punishing for everybody involved, including the audience, because it does go on. Yes. The Virgin, actually, in this particular opera, is the one that the 2 female protagonists of the opera believe themselves to be in their terrorist, racist rape fantasy. Because, you see, they hold themselves in very high regard. They believe themselves to be quite virginal in that they are very virtuous characters. However, thank you very much. We ran out of time, and unfortunately I know you have to run off to your next appointment. But I'll take it from here, Professor Dr. Helge Hofstede. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to run off to my seats in the far back of the theater. I'll be sitting actually behind and under you, and also above you. So feel free to not tap your feet on my head or to bang anything on the ceiling, because that's very disturbing to me. Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you with a little clip as I make my way to my seat. It's about all the frenetic goings-on backstage. So there you saw, ladies and gentlemen, all the millions of people that are involved in this production. We have stagehands, we have costume designers, we have set designers, we have lighting people, we have extras, we have people walking around with clipboards, and we don't know what they do, but they're also very important. It all goes into this giant soup that we call opera. So tonight's opera, as I said, is the abduction out of the Serail. This is, of course, a complete fantasy. It's quite offensive, really. It's based on a racist idea of what Turkish people are like. This libretto was written after the threat of the Ottoman Empire had passed, and so people had all kinds of fantastically wonderful ideas about how horrible Turkish people are. So we can relate to that today, ladies and gentlemen, because we have lots of terrible notions about what Turkish people, and really all Muslim people, and really anybody who has a slightly dark skin is like. So I've brought them all into this opera as well, so that we can all relate to this very ancient opera that was written hundreds of years ago, because these themes are still apt today. The opera opens with young Belmonte, who is a tenor. He is looking for his lady love, who has inexplicably crashed into the sea and been sold by pirates to a Turkish pasha. The Turkish pasha has decided that even though they are not virgins, these two women are going to serve in his household. He's kept one for himself, she's quite feisty, and he's let his servant Osmin have the other one. She's also quite feisty. These are, in fact, Western ladies. These are European women. And Belmonte himself is also European. He is Spanish, the ladies are British. Nobody really knows how they got together, but that's what they did. And then we will meet, of course, Pedrillo or Pedrillo, depending on how American you want to say it. And he is also has been captured by pirates and enslaved by the Pasha. Oddly enough, he is not made into a sex slave. I find that somewhat unbelievable. However, he is in fact a servant in the household as well. So he will be reunited with Belmonte, and they will have a big reuniting scene and hatch a plan to get the ladies out, because the ladies are apparently completely unable to manage it themselves, even though the plan that they actually develop is quite weak. So it takes an entire opera for this plan to get enacted. As I said, lots of notes, lots of scenes, lots of interesting arias, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how this opera goes. Feel free to join us again. We have a few more nights of Virgin Week remaining, and next week we turn in the third Advent to Mother Week, where we celebrate not just the virgins, but also the mothers and later the whores of opera. So enjoy that. Ladies and gentlemen, the longer I take to do this, the less time I have to sing. He's found himself in a strange place. He's not quite sure what to make of it. It's all very exotic for him. He's landed in this strange location, and he's trying to find his lady love, who he found here. Where else would he look? And so he's going to try to find her. First he's going to sing a little song. German, he was basically saying, let's get this over with. So, as luck would have it, he has found the right place. He just stumbled upon it. And since this is a racist terrorist rape fantasy, which has nothing to do with Mozart's intent, it's all taking place in the imagination of the two protagonistic heroines. So, we found Osmin. Osmin has appeared outside the kebab shop. He is, of course, the henchman. He guards the Pasha's stuff and make sure people don't get in that shouldn't get in, because there's this top secret stuff in there. Nobody's really sure what a Turkish person really looks like, but since it's a terrorist rapist fantasy, we've just sort of made it up. We found the most horrible thing we could think of. And Osmin, of course, has something to say about this guy out here demanding to get into the kebab shop. And he has a little song about it.
Wer ein Liebchen hat gefunden, die es treu und redlich meint, lohnt es ihr durch 1000 Küsse, möcht ihr all das Leben süße, sei ihr Tröste, sei ihr Freund, sei ihr Tröste, sei ihr Freund, sei ihr Freund. Tralala, 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 tralala.
So, that was Osmin's song. Bamante, if you can't keep charge of your women, there's no hope for you. You gotta be able to hang on to your ladies there. And I'm definitely not letting you in here. Well, we'll see about that. Osmin leaves. And fascinatingly enough, his friend is here. Hey! 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 Oh my god! Hey, it's you! Yeah! Hey! How'd you get here? Yeah, I followed the clues over the water. I figured it out. Oh, that's fantastic! Hey, maybe you can help us all get out of here. It kind of sucks. We're all being kept prisoner here. We don't like it at all. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Do you have a plan? No. Do you have a plan? No. Great, okay, so we'll hatch a plan. We'll figure it out somehow, I'm sure. Okay, all right, we'll do that in Act 2. Okay, good. So, meanwhile, the ladies have been kept in very uncomfortable settings, but it's okay with them, because they are finally living out their terrorist, racist rape fantasy. And Constanza has really just had enough. She's been changed into modest garb, which actually she finds rather exciting, because now everything is a secret under there. And she's never experienced that before. Little strumpet. But nevertheless, she's really not into this. It's a little more than she bargained for. And every day, this guy is coming around, this Pasha here. She has no idea who he is, or why she should even care that he is there. And he's making all kinds of horrible demands on her constantly, telling her that she has to submit to him. And she's really not into that. She likes all the rugs and the textiles and things, but she has a boyfriend, and now she's kind of hoping that he finds her, because she's really had it. And here he is, the Pasha. So, Constanza. Yes, Pasha. Listen, you've been here a while now. I've given you a beautiful, modest gown. And we're here to live your terrorist, racist rape fantasy, aren't we? No, I've changed my mind. This is really too much for me. I am ready to go back now. Thank you very much. Oh no, that's not how it works. You are now my prisoner. And so look, every day I come in here and I tell you that we're gonna, and every day you say, no, I'm not ready, I just don't want to. But you know, my patience is running out. And I want to know what's wrong with you. Why can't you just forget him? You're here now. You were sold to me. I own you. So let's have it. Well, Constanza definitely has something to say about that. Because it's not just random. She actually does love somebody.
Ach, ich liebte, war so glücklich, konnte nicht der liebe Schmerz. War so glücklich, konnte nicht der liebe Schmerz. Schwur in Treue dem Geliebten, schwur in Treue dem Geliebten.
There. And because she is so grateful that the aria is now over, and she can catch a break, Osmin, or rather the Pasha, he actually was moved by this, and he says, wow, you sang so high, and so many notes. You clearly really meant it. And so I believe you when you say that you are saving yourself because you love someone else. And I guess I'm really willing to wait one more day, even though really, according to the timeline, you've already been on a ship sold by pirates on the human slavery market, and I bought you, so months have passed, but what's one more day? So I'll give you that one more day, Constanza. And I'll let you just rest for a few minutes while we have a scene change.
The fruit psychic, reading her fruits every night at 8.
Please mix it up. Then better how butter.
Oh!
Please mix it better how hålla pile better helvete. Rosa poco taba hallo patamara patabata.
Oh!
But do the butter but the papa. A rap a lupaba, holla catto, double sherba, holla. A ringa la balbella, hello. Shri hat but a herald, and the other
Once, blah 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 blah.
Brian, I think it's a good time for a little Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
I think I'll also play a little Christmas music. Something really relaxing.
Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas. Christmas, Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas.
were taking a pause. Everyone was hanging out in the hammam and enjoying all the nice things that you can get in a Turkish hammam. And ladies and gentlemen, we don't really understand Turkish culture. We don't really know the bad kind of Muslims or not, so we just put it all in one bucket. And, so we have, in the next scene, this is actually Constanza's servant. She's very perky. She's a coloratura. And she's not okay with this. This was not her idea at all. And she has also been given to this smelly guy, which she does not like one iota. She doesn't like anything about him. She doesn't like her circumstances here. It all just kind of sucks. And every day she has to push him off because he's constantly trying with her. He doesn't understand because he was given her, so why doesn't she submit? Well, I'll tell you why, because why should I? So she has to go through this rigmarole every single day, and once again, today is just like every other day where this happens.
I want to.
Don't touch me.
No, now I want you now.
Get away from me.
No, no, it's no, no.
You just stop it right now. You don't understand anything.
What you not like about me?
It's the Turkish accent that she imagines in her head. Appropriate. I don't like this at all. I don't like that kind of handling. I'm a lady.
No, you're not your servant.
Yeah, well, I am according to you, so I need to treat you a little bit differently. And I'll tell you how you treat me, with sweetness and whatever schmeicheln is.
Durch Zärtlichkeit und Schmeicheln, Gefälligkeit und Scherzen, oben mal die Herzen der guten Mädchen leicht, der guten Mädchen leicht, durch welches Befehlerlied der Boten zum Geflaggerlied und wollten zum Gemerken, noch sind wir nicht tagen, so liebestreu und wahr, noch sind wir nicht tagen, so liebestreu und
Yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
I don't understand. You mean I have to be nice?
Yes, you have to be nice.
I don't want to be nice.
Well then, psh, I hit you.
Oh, you'll pay for that later.
And then he leaves. It's all very confusing in the Serail. Nobody's happy about anything. And things happen. We have all kinds of terrible things happening. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just lost my place, but I found it again. Everything is under control here at the opera. And so, meanwhile, that's happening, and then she comes back in the picture, and they have a little powwow. It sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, it totally sucks. I don't know what we're going to do. We have to find something to do about it. We need to hatch a plan. Yes, we do. We'll figure something out. Don't worry, Constanza. I'm sure we will. Oh, God, I don't know how much longer I can take it. Well, you know what? we're in it together. We're having this experience together, and I'm sure we'll manage. Yes, I'm sure we will, but oh my God, but guess what? So she leaves and she thinks about that, and then he comes around. Hey, psst, psst. Oh my love, we're a couple actually, I forgot to mention that earlier. Oh, it's so great to see you. Oh, don't touch, we have to be careful. We have to keep up the ruse. Right, they think you're gay. That's why I didn't worry about that. Yes, we'll talk about that later. So, what are we gonna do? Hey, well guess what, there's great news, because Belmonte is here. What? Oh my God, that's fantastic! He's so helpless, but somehow his mere presence will help us all to get out of here. Yes, it's true. I had the same thought. Do you guys have a plan? No. Okay, well, maybe we'll all come up with a plan. Yes, I'm sure we will. We will do that. Okay, well, I'll tell Constanza the first chance I get. Okay, cool, thanks. Meanwhile, Constanza is still having her daily problems. Also with her wardrobe. I might need to help her a little bit. She's having some trouble with her modesty. Just help her there. That'll make it a lot easier. So, she's about to sing a song which is basically a response to what's about to happen in this next scene. So, I have decided that that's enough. I have waited long enough, and now I'm ready for you to be my sex slave, because that's what I paid for and that's what I'm gonna get. And I really like your curly blonde hair, and that's that. Even though you're not a virgin, I'm totally into it, and it's gonna happen now. No! How dare you! You've been so at least a gentleman, even though you have purchased me on the human black market, but you've been kind, and have kept up appearances of at least not being a total dick. And now, this is just too far. I am not going to submit to your tortures, because that's just not what I do. And you can do anything you want to me. You can hurt me, you can whip me, you can rape me, but I will still be my own person. I am still an autonomous human being, no matter what you say about my worth as a woman being less than yours. And then she sings a song about it.
lass dich bewegen, des Himmels Segen
That's what she had to say about that. Well, I find this very perplexing. But I'm going to think about that in the next break before the third act. So, we're in the green room, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the green room, and we're going to have a little interview with one of the cast members. So, tell us, how is it going? Congratulations on the successful first two acts. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you. I noticed you're dressed like a terrorist. What's up with that? Are you okay with that? To be honest, no, I'm really not okay with that. I find it extremely offensive, and I don't know what this has to do anything with Mozart, really whatsoever. Well, do you think that might slightly be because the works of Mozart actually were just as racist as they are today? No, I think that beautiful music is never racist, because beautiful music is simply there to help us feel good about ourselves. And I really don't want to think when I go to the opera, and I really don't want to think when I have to perform such a wonderful role such as Osmin. It's difficult enough, and I don't want to also have to think about it. Well, I understand completely. I have the same problem. As a singer, I feel that all one really needs to do is just represent the composer's intent. And if the composer's intent was somehow to make fun of other groups of people, I just will simply ignore that totally, because I find that is uninteresting to me. Yeah, that's also how I like to do it. However, the director in this case demanded that we dress like this, and so we're all extremely uncomfortable. And that's what we have to do. Well, at least I only have one more act to get through, and then I can go home and walk my Shih Tzu and get some sushi around the corner. Yeah, fantastic. Well, you know, chin up. Looks fantastic though. Shh, shut up. And, well, you do. I mean, it looks actually kind of exciting, actually, all that power and weaponry. Okay, this is exactly the problem I was talking about. I really am uncomfortable with this. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I obviously offended him. But anyway, the last act is about to come, so enjoy. If anyone has any questions or comments or complaints, you can just talk to Brian after the show. He's willing to take everything on. So, prepare the third act. Prepare the third act. It's the big scene. The big finale. Where things finally happen. More offensive things than ever before. And the audience will probably leave in the middle. But then they'll never know how it ended. That's just life. Right, Brian?
Yeah.
Alright, life of Brian. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next act takes place, as before, outside the kebab shop, which is where all the Turks are to be found, up to no good, enslaving women, where the women are to be found looking for their dashing dark man, as they do. But in this case, actually, what's happened is Osmin, it's nighttime, Brian, it's a night scene, and the ladies are tucked away snug in bed in their very modest nightgowns, and the boys come across Osmin there, guarding, sleeping, standing up, as he always does, or lying down. In any event, he's very, very alert, and he doesn't let anyone come in or out. Meanwhile, Belmonte, who has meanwhile been hired by the Pasha as an architect for some reason, and his buddy here, they've hatched a plan. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to get him drunk. Okay. How are you going to do that? He's a Muslim, he doesn't drink. No, I have my ways. I'm very persuasive. Yeah, okay, so we'll do that. And then what? Then we just go over the wall and we get the ladies and we rescue them. Okay, sounds like a really solid plan. Let's do that. Okay, let's do it. I'm willing to do it if you are. Okay. So, luckily, they had kept with them a jar of spirits in a canteen. Hey, Osmin. What? Hey, why don't you have a little drink? No, I don't drink. What are you, stupid? Shit, this is not going the way I thought it would. Hey, you know, I think you should try it though, because it's really tasty, and it'll make you feel like, or in a really funny way, like you've never ever felt before in your life. Oh really? Okay, I'll drink it. So then Osmin takes a drink. Oh my goodness, I do feel very strange. Yeah, drink some more, Okay. Oh, are you sure? Yeah. And while you're drinking, let's just sing a song about that.
Viva Bacchus, Bacchus, lebe Bacchus, war ein braver Mann. Viva Bacchus, Bacchus, lebe Bacchus, war ein braver Mann.
Ob ich sage, ob ich trinke, ob das wohl aller sehen kann.
Sauderung, hinunter, nicht lange und den Tag, nicht lange gefragt. Nun wär's geschehen, nun wär's hinunter, das heißt ich, das heißt ich gefragt. Es leben die Mädchen, die Blonden, die Blauen, die Blonden, die Blauen, sie leben, sie leben, sie leben hoch, sie leben, sie leben, sie leben hoch. Das schmeckt trefflich, das schmeckt herrlich. Ah, das weiß ich, gegattert dran. Wie war Bauchus, Bauchus, der meine Wand, wie war Bauchus, Bauchus, der Bauchus, der meine Wand. Wie war Bauchus, Bauchus, der Wand. Es leben die Mädchen, die Blonden, die Braunen, die leben die hoch. Wie war Bauchus, Bauchus, der meine Wand. Wie war Bauchus, Bauchus, der Wand. Es leben die Mädchen, die Blonden, die Braunen, die leben hoch. Wie war Bauchus, Bauchus, der meine Wand. Wie war Bauchus, wie war der meine Wand.
So they had a great party, dancing, and Osmin felt very sleepy all of a sudden. He put away an entire fifth of vodka, which went down surprisingly easily, and he's pretty spent. So he crashes over there by the wall. Actually, the wall moved because everything is moving. If you drink a fifth of vodka, you feel pretty spinny about basically everything that's happening around you. And meanwhile, the boys very, very silently hatch a plan, which they now put into action. And the plan is that they capture the women. I mean, the women have already been captured, but they're the good guys capturing because, you know, someone's got to capture the women at all times. So they're doing it this time. And the women are simply behind this wall here. It's not going to be so difficult after all. All they have to do is be very, very, very quiet as they escape. You would think that they would put on some kind of disguise, but no, they're going to risk everything. Blonde hair and all. Okay, you guys, just really quietly. Okay, we're just gonna, actually first we'll come in. We'll come in, that's a good way to do it. So we'll come in first, and then crash.
Hey! What? Hey, what? Hey! Oh God! Oh shit! There's intruders, and everything is, what? How is this? This is unacceptable. I'm gonna wake the whole place up, and you guys are all in big trouble. And this shit's gonna go down right now. I just radioed my boss. Hey! What's happening? Why did you wake me? I was sleeping comfortably with my guns and grenades. Boss, something terrible has happened. What? There were intruders, and they were trying to get our women. What? I see. It's quite a mess over here, isn't it? Yes. Good work, Osmin. Good work. And you smell a little... What is that? I don't feel very... It's nothing, I just have a little stomach flu. I need to go sit down, there was a lot of activity for me. Okay, sure. And so that happens, so they're all caught, the plan is completely over, and then there's more singing. Actually, first I'll tell you what they're singing about. It might be a little easier to understand. So, they're all been captured, and they all feel very guilty, but mostly they don't feel guilty because they haven't done anything wrong. They're free people. Why are they being captured by this guy? Why can't they leave?
they don't understand it at all. They don't feel like they've done anything wrong, and they just want to get out of here. And they are very happy. This guy especially, Osmin, is really happy when anyone gets to die, because that's his favorite part of his job, is killing people. And so he gets to kill somebody pretty soon. He's sharpened up his knife. It doesn't really matter that he's drunk, because he doesn't really need to see all that clearly anyway. And everyone is pretty terrified. They don't know really what's going to happen, but they have a pretty good idea. And the lovers line up by couple and say their last final farewells. And Belmonte and Constanza, they realize that this is the end of the line. And they just want to tell each other, you know what, we're going to die. It's going to happen now. Seems like that's finally going to take place. But I just want you to know, Constanza, that I would rather die with you than be without you. And as long as we're both being tortured to death together, it's okay. And she agrees. She feels the same way, surprisingly enough. She's okay with that. So that's their final moment on this earth. As they sing about that.
Hat sich denn alles wieder mich verschworen? Ach, Konstanze, durch mich bist du verloren. Welch eine Pein. Lass, ach, Geliebter, lass dich das nicht quälen. Was ist der Tod? Ein Weg zur Ruhe. Und dann an deiner Seite ist der Geschmack der Seele. Engelseele. Du flößest Trost in mein erschüttert Herz. Du linderst mir den Todesschmerz. Und ach, ich reiße dich ins Grab.
So it's all very sad. They feel terrible, but they've made their farewells, and everything's just gonna end now. And one final chance to save everybody's hide was you pull the daddy card. Hey, you know what? I just want to say one thing. I'm ready to die, but my dad's gonna kill you. Don't you know who I am? No, who are you? I am the son of the governor of an island in Spanish, which you know very well, and which name I've forgotten, but it's the one you're thinking of. Oh, really? Ha 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 ha! Well, guess what? He is my first mortal sworn enemy. Shit, that didn't go well. But, you know what? I'm glad I know this, because actually, the one thing that would be worse than killing his son would be to let his son live, because that's even worse. and he'll fear me more. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So you're all free to go. Ha ha, I won. Okay, yeah, good. Oh, that works for us. Totally. We'll totally leave now. What? No, I got 4 people to kill. No, it's diplomacy. You don't understand. You're too low level. All right, so thanks. Can you give us some supplies? No. Okay, we'll just find a raft. I'm sure, I mean, we're close to a beach here somewhere, so we'll just quietly gather our belongings and get in the raft. And they're getting in the raft. They are, in fact, very close to a beach. And so, as the finale dawns, they get into the boat and they sail away. And so they found a nice boat. Some friends of theirs were also happened to be fleeing at the same time. Didn't seem to be very, very water-fast boats, but they just had to get out of there as soon as possible. And they didn't really have a rudder or anything, but they decided that they were willing to take their chances because this place was really crazy. So that's what they did. And Osmin was still upset, but there were other slaves to kill and other women to force to make sweet, sweet love with. And so, the end.
Absolut.